As welcome back. As you depart and make your way towards the Nightingale Theatre, where she's usually does a few shows every week and certainly has a residency there. You pull up outside the front, and the building itself is open. However, there's no shows in progress. And there's someone at the box office. You can see a couple of other figures inside. One of them goes around with a broom, clearing up after that evening's entertainment.
So we're there a bit too early, from the sounds of it.
Yeah, you're no, a bit too late. It's
too late. Okay.
Yeah. However, the evening's entertainment she was not on show tonight. The board outside informs you that tonight's show was a sort of musical variety performance, slightly bawdy musical numbers.
Well, look at that, Arden. She's not here tonight.
That's too bad. We need to go back and come back another time.
Or we take this opportunity when she's not here to go through her... I'm sure if she has a residency here, I'm sure she has her own dressing room. Time to go through it.
As you're outside musing, a stagehand comes out of the side door with a bucket, a brush stuck into it, and a rolled up paper under his hand. He goes over to the poster of Madame Striga and just plasters the paste over it and slaps this notice on it saying, "Performance is cancelled until further notice."
That's French?
Sir.
Turns around, kind of tips a newsboy cap at you.
What exactly happened to her performance?
Well, she ain't gonna be coming in anytime soon. Word has it, and he leans in conspiratorially, goes, word has it, she's up at Bedlam.
Bedlam?
The colloquialism for Bethlehem Asylum.
What put her there?
I don't know, it's one of her you know what it shows like, all smoke and mirrors, but one of the people who works the crowd beforehand finds out about people. Came in and said that she'd done something and she wouldn't be able to attend for the future. It was the stage manager. He was the one who found out. He was did a bit of old detective work, and that's what he thinks. She got herself up in the cuckoo's nest.
Well, what of her things? Did the stage manager... Oh, sorry.
No, go on. Go.
Did the stage manager scoop up all her things out since she's gone for commission for some time, or...?
No, not yet. Well, apparently she's got family coming in a couple of days, gonna pick up her stuff.
Oh, alright. Good to know. What do you think, Arden?
No, I was just thinking that sounds a little bit unfair, right? She's a performer, not crazy.
I mean, let's just be quite frank here. Asylums are not usually places you choose to go. She likely had very little choice in the matter.
That's isn't this a little curious that she's sent into that asylum right after she has a show where our guy, poor fella, was supposed to be before he got murdered.
I think it is. Very likely. If I were a betting man, I would think that she knows something, and is thus put into the cuckoo's nest to make people disbelieve any story that she might spin. I feel like we need to pay this asylum a visit.
Perhaps. Actually, are we still in front of the guy?
He's just finishing up, kind of like plastering over, like putting the paste over the top, the page he's just put on, like secure it on there.
Right.
Puts the brush back in the bucket. Brush back in the bucket. Begins to leave.
Why don't we snoop in her things first? Maybe perhaps there's something of value here.
Yeah, I agree. Let's go for a quick look before her family takes everything.
Lead the way.
Didn't.
As you, how do you want to go in? Do you want to go in through the front doors or try that stage door to the side? Are you sneaking or are you going in?
I mean, we are with the police, right? Even if we're not technically officers, could ask nicely first. I mean, she's linked to a murder, something like little bits.
Person of interest, yeah.
Yeah. So, I guess we could just do front door.
Stepping in, there's two doors. So there's the front door, and then there's the box office, little kiosk, and then there's another door which goes into the main lobby. So stepping through the front door, the cashier at the box office, evidently counting up for the evening, kind of looks up. Performances are finished for the evening. And would you like to buy tickets for a future performance, perhaps?
No. We're actually here on official business. From the, police.
Okay, I wasn't aware of any wrongdoing or investigations involving the establishment. Is everything okay?
Not the
Go ahead.
not the establishment itself, but one of its past performers, Madame Striga.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Strange affair, if you ask me. Well, never let it be said that we're not forthcoming in our help of the law. Is there anything I can do to be of assistance?
Yes, we would like to look through her effects that were left behind. She may be involved in a murder that happened.
Okay, so I'm going to say, with that, make me a presence persuasion.
Presence. Okay. Presence. Oh, would say presence. Okay. Presence I only have a 1 in. But my manipulation's pretty good, so...
Ooh.
I still got 1 success, though.
No. That's a botch.
Oh.
It says I have 1 success. Yeah, I have a 9.
No, that's a... No, the last one.
I have a 9, 5, 1, and 6.
Oh. Oh.
Whenever you roll a 1, it'll put that notice there.
Okay, success. Yeah. All right. So I only get the as he oh right, that's confusing. As he well, it's I do believe Mr. Jerome has left for the evening. He's the building manager. I think he might have a few objections, but as long as we keep it between us, and please don't take anything. As he reaches under the desk and takes out a bunch of keys, takes one off the ring, and that will see you into the room.
Right.
And as you go, he directs you through a door that says stage staff only. That's at the bottom of this staircase that kind of goes up and then branches off 2 ways, and this single door that's kind of hidden out of the way leads you to the backstage. Walking down, suddenly the glamour of the location just evaporates as soon as you pass this door. These marble floors are replaced with naked brickwork walls and bits of graffiti that have been left over the years, and just rows of performer dressing rooms, all of them painted in the same red worn and chipping now chipping paint. Hers is the 3rd door along. Opening the door, you see what you would expect from such a theatre establishment. Dressing room, large mirror against one wall dressing table. A couch sits in the corner. Various vases of flowers and cards from enraptured audiences. And very, very large rail of various quite gothic mourning attire, veils, black dresses, and all the kinds of paraphernalia that you would expect for someone who has a show engaged in a supposed dealings with the dead.
Thank you so much. We won't be very long, and we won't take anything. If anything does need to be taken, we will, of course, have, the law come by with the proper paperwork for you.
Oh, thank you. I'll leave you to it, and let's get back to closing up. As he turns, closing the door behind him, leaving you with the key. If you just lock up when you leave. And he goes back, heading back to his little kiosk.
So what are we looking for?
Mail. Maybe a diary.
Anything related to the Infernal Club, perhaps?
I'm going to say you can make me an intellect empathy. What we'll do with if you want to assist on rolls, we can add successes together. So you can sort of do a group action, and then we just combine successes. See how everyone does.
All right.
Oh, this was empathy, you said?
Enigmas, sorry. Yeah, this is going to be.
Intellect enigmas.
I'd say it's probably more cunning enigma.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's see.
Ooh, I botched.
Oh.
Oh, we got 3. So
What's that mean?
3 successes is good.
Okay.
And very, very nice. So, let's say on that, you find Deandro, you find the going through a whole stack of fan mail that's been left on one side of the dressing table. There is just flicking through it. There's going by the various motifs that things have been signed off from. There is one which contains the icon of 5 bloody handprints, which kind of create a circle pointing in towards one another, which you recognise from the invitation as the motif of the Inferno Club, asking for her attendance and expertise in a matter of urgent importance. And reading through, they don't obviously divulge too much information in the letter, but enough that it would pique the interest of anyone who was had an interest in the occult. As she is requested to attend, as they believe that machinations have begun to return something or someone to the world that would usher in a new age of darkness.
You see Deandro just frozen there, staring at it's like a card, like a letter situation.
It's letter-headed, yeah, very, very neatly written, evidently by somebody who looks to be educated and certainly had some kind of certainly has a very delicate handwriting.
I think someone just passed over my grave. Whip.
Can we get votes, please?
Wait, what?
Votes from Wyverian and Apatura. Do you think that was a good use? Just a Y or an N, if you like. Just
Very computer science of you.
I'm going to allow it. So you get a bonus die on your next roll.
Now roll a new one.
So
I draw a new one.
yes. So, while Arden, looking through the various paraphernalia, you find the techniques that's used. You find something, what looks to be a box of vials chemical compound, and Arden's from an academic background, isn't he?
Yeah.
Science. Yes, you've got a scientific mind. You look at them. You look at the labels, the chemical concoctions. When two of them are combined, they create a almost tangible vapor, which slowly crystallizes on contact with the air. Very, very common use for ectoplasm on stage.
I mean, I have to admit it's kind of neat.
Yeah, you find that this is underneath this. There's several kind of little empty capsules that obviously she puts into her mouth. When the time comes, she bites down, breaks both capsules, exhales, and it's cleverly done. There's also candles which she burns on the table, and a sniff of them reveals that they have been part of the wax has had laudanum sealed into it. Thus, when the candle is burned on stage, puts the audience into a slightly less lucid state of mind where they're more perceptible to believe, much less likely to question what is going on. However, it's underneath all of this, that at the very bottom, you find a notebook, which has been, despite everything else at the bottom, which has kind of been somewhat forgotten, this has been used very recently. It doesn't have the same film of dust on it. Opening it up, only the central, it's mostly empty, except for the central 2 pages, which have got sort of almost written on top of itself the scrawlings of automatic writing. There is something strange about it. You can't quite place what it is. I'm going to say that's going to take an intellect empathy.
Okay, let's go.
To work out what's happened.
Nope.
Something wrong.
Found something interesting here.
It's
Okay.
the writing is almost on top of itself in various places. It's really, really difficult to read.
So have I believe.
Oh. I hope yours is more comprehensible than mine. I have very strange scribbles.
I wish it wasn't. It's of the Infernal Club. Tells of. They're asking for her expertise. They're trying to bring something or someone back. Or something. I don't. This isn't my, line of expertise. Does that sound familiar to anyone? Bringing.
They're not. They don't. They didn't seem to mention it. It seems like they were more trying to work out what was going on. That someone was attempted to be being brought back.
Oh.
They are trying to. No, don't worry.
These damn scripts.
Oh, let me see what you have, there, Arden.
Sure.
Since it's like a piece of paper, I'm guessing.
It's a black moleskin notebook. Oh. Only the 2 pages have just got this scrawling in them, like wording on top of itself. very difficult to make out, but you're going to say it's 3 successes if you want to try and read it on the back of the botch.
And that's empathy and intellect?
This will probably be...
or enigma?
That's empathy to sort of try and read the state of mind of the writer. Enigmas if you want to try and decipher the wording.
This is not a good roll for me.
It is for me, I think. Let's see.
Bearing in mind you've got your bonus 1 from your quip.
Oh yeah.
So if you want to make that check, then yes.
Looks like a bunch of gobbledygook to me. Passes it over to Mr. McAdams.
Let's see. That'd be enigmas. Enigmas what?
Intellect?
Intellect enigmas. Yeah.
Alright. So I'll use my extra dice.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, that was the target. As you sort of have to pause for a moment and read it where the words are on top of itself. What is written here is a stream of consciousness of. They have begun to unravel what we are attempting. They come for us now, even now, while here. You must hide, you must run. Do not look back. This is how the rest of your life will be. They know who you are. And then it repeats. They are nearly on us, they are nearly on us, they are nearly on us, they are nearly on us. They will not, and then the last bit, they will not be stopped.
I relay what I am able to transcribe from the garbled notes. Well,
She was afraid that she was hunted?
This is apparently automatic writing, so it's not necessarily her. She's the one writing, but the thoughts are not hers.
Mm.
Oh, and she's a medium, so maybe it's one of the spirit,
I don't know about all that spirit stuff. I think I'm with Mr. Gray on that. I'm not sure I believe any of that. This does state they. I wonder if they refers to the Inferno Club.
perhaps. There's no real specification, so.
Is there anything else in this room that might be useful without having to go talk to somebody that's... If this is how she writes and talks, I feel like the asylum might be the best place for her. I do not relish actually having to talk to somebody that thinks like this.
Looking around, nothing that immediately becomes apparent. Just looking into a small, into a small door leads to a very, very small bathroom. absolutely carries on it this overpowering scent of lavender. And other than that, it just seems to be various comforts, perfumes, and so on and so forth.
So, what's our next move? This.
Unfortunately, if there's nothing else here, then we have to go talk to the woman herself.
Is it even possible? I mean, if she's put in some sort of isolation, can we visit her? Or do we have to, I don't know, ask for permission to her family or something like that?
Mr. Gray, let me just point one thing out. As long as you're dressed to impress, you're allowed to go anywhere.
Arden, like, look at his clothes that are dirty and with ink spots everywhere. I mean...
Not about what you're wearing right
maybe
now.
for you.
Not about what you're wearing right now. Just make sure you have clothes that fit the occasion.
And as you depart, making your way to Bethlehem Asylum for the Insane, or as it's more commonly known, Bedlam.
So, obviously I was kind of setting this up so I could use my first trademark here. Which is quite literally, dress to impress.
Okay.
Basically, cunning and persuasion is the role.
Okay, go for it.
So I can attempt to talk us in, essentially.
Yes, there are the main gates are staffed by 2 orderlies, both of which carry on them restraints and a whistle around their neck. And looking through the gates, you can just see some of the less dangerous inmates who, one of them wheels along a cart with lots of books stacked up on it, while another one carries a sort of very old, worn tray with some crockery on it out of one of the buildings. But those that are allowed sort of simple jobs to keep them occupied, but won't cause any harm.
Right, let's see how this persuasion attempt goes to get in here.
So you get +2 on your roll, and remember, on a success for the scene, you can take a moment where you can take the directorial lead. This is your chance to absolutely derail me.
3 successes.
Remember to use your directorial sway.
All right.
As you approach the gate, one of the orderlies step forward, lantern comes up over your face. You know where you are, sir?
I most certainly do, sir. We are here to see one of the patients that you have locked away here.
As casts an eye sort of up and down. And who might that be? A little bit late, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it is very late. Well, I am Mr. Korozda. This is Mr. McAdams and Mr. Gray. We are here to see might be your newest inmate, a matter of fact. Oh, dear me. I whisper over to, McAdams. What was that person's name again?
Line.
Line.
Madam Stoker!
Madam Stoker.
Madam Stroger.
You sort of see there's a moment of the orderly kind of furrows his brow. You know? You sort of see him as he's catching up lines in his head. He's like, oh, she's not known by that name in here. Letty Edwards.
Oh, Lizzie Edwards. Well, I apologize. I didn't know her actual name.
No,
Performing being her main thing.
well, of course. I mean, she's... I think, given the situations, as he begins to unlock the gate, I don't think she's going to be doing private shows, put it that way. I trust this is not some kind of... You're not some kind of obsessive, are you?
Oh, absolutely not, sir. We are looking into something that may have happened. And it looks like she may have been involved in some manner, so... While I don't suspect that she's going to give us any coherency... Well, still have to ask, you know.
Well, she's certainly something. Otherwise, she's giving the best performance of her life. As the gate creaks open, this rust kind of sprinkles down from the hinges as he lets you into the grounds.
Thank you, good sir. You wouldn't happen to know what room she's in and lead us there? I would rather not have to be bothered with, obviously, getting asked every 5 minutes.
Of course. As he turns, he's you're alright flying solo for a few, as he talks to his colleague. There's a nod and a grunt as the other one steps forward, leaning up against the fence, the gateposts. As the orderly begins to walk towards the front door, steps inside, and instantly that very medicinal scent hits your nostrils. That formaldehyde and even in the very dim light, candle lit as it is, you can see that there's that slightly greenwash tinge to everything where it's been cleaned down. And as he walks through various corridors, this place becomes something of a labyrinth and stops by one door, which he knocks against. There's a barred window, probably about probably the height and width of a shoebox.
I'm sorry, but this guy's got to have a key. He's gonna open the door here.
It's whether or not it's going to take a convincing, because obviously you're opening the door to potentially somebody who's a danger to themselves and others.
Oh, I'm guessing my directorial control here doesn't work.
Oh! Yeah, are you cashing in?
Yes, I'm cashing that in.
Okay, as he... it's on you. Keep a distance. They can get violent. The door opens up, and you can't help but notice that there's a little bit of wobble as the
play.
Yeah. Any legitimate inmate could just walk through it. And stepping into the room, you see where part of the budget went. As star of stage and screen, Maureen Collins sits in a corner. So the eye shadow just kind of hanging just under under her eyes, obscuring her view. And she looks at you. And older woman, probably in her mid to late 60s. And while she's known for her very much refined presentation for this, she's gone a little bit more maniacal. The hair slightly frizzy, hangs around her shoulders. As she regards each one of you silently. And as the lantern is handed to you to illuminate the room, you see that the same words have been written up on the wall, round the walls of her cell, chalked over and over again.
At least you're consistent.
Madame Stoker, or should I say Madame Edwards?
Silent. But she looked. You see, she looks towards you.
We have a
Hello.
few questions.
Oh. So did they.
Who was they? Let's start with that question then.
The ones that called me. That summoned me. And I attended.
The gentleman club, right?
Yes. You know of them, I take.
Only from what...
Yeah. Go on.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, we had some interest in their activities, and we have recently learned that you were involved with those people, and we hoped that maybe you would have more information on them.
I'm not gonna say, make me either a presence or a manipulation persuasion here.
Also, while the camera is affixed to Arden and Maureen, I'm gonna lean into to Tristan and ask, what was the dead guy's name again?
While the camera's still not facing Tristan, he shrugs his shoulders.
Harlan Hamilton.
Hamilton.
You sort of like quickly like to one side. There's sort of you just open up that door again, and from outside the plywood flats. You just grab a copy of the script. Okay.
Arden Hamilton. Okay.
Apatura?
Yes.
How did you do on your roll? Oh, nice. They called me. One of them had returned from Romania with darkness. A darkness that will take us all. They said he informed me that it had begun. They wanted to prevent it.
What has begun?
I don't know. Something that was attempted a long time ago and failed. But now, something tries again.
Could I ask you to use your, can't believe I'm gonna say that, expertise to maybe give us your opinion on what this darkness could have been. Could be.
Absolutely, and you've got one stunt as well. Sorry, just to keep you posted, Jarad, you've got 2 stunts.
Okay, it's done.
Where is that?
So you can use those as additional successes. And again, let's do another presence or manipulation, but empathy this time.
Okay, let's go.
Do you want to use that stunt for the additional success?
Yeah, well, why not?
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say because that was a 2 because she as she steps forward and the light is thrown up onto her face, you see that her eyes don't so much like roll back as they cloud over, almost like she's going blind. And as she... Ooh, where's my dice roller gone? As she grabs hold of you around the collar and the lapel and pulls you in and kind of right into your ear, goes, "What do you wish to ask?"
I didn't quite hear the first part. She said, "What they wish to ask?"
Yes, but it's very horrible, like cracked voice.
Okay. That's very enlightening. Can you let me go, please?
It's... Ooh! I'm gonna... do we need a roll there? She kind of pushes you back further back into the room, and her head cocks at this almost unnatural angle.
Arden's going to go hide behind Jarad. Like, no.
As her head begins to rotate, body staying absolutely still. She holds up 3 fingers. Ask your questions.
Who are we speaking to right now?
Jefferson Raycroft.
Sorry, I didn't catch that.
Jefferson Raycroft.
Oh. Jefferson Raycroft. Alright.
Okay. Do we ask whoever that person is?
Arnold Hanold. I have 1, but we only have 3. Oh, 2 now.
Yes, so one of the fingers goes down.
Oh my god.
So what's your ID?
What?
What do you have in mind for the question?
I wanted to ask if Jefferson knows Arnold Hamilton. If this is our...
Five began starting something, trying to prevent what has become to have fallen. And 3 remain. And 1 question remains.
And I feel like the final question has to be... This is me speaking out of character right now. I feel like the final question has to be... And what has been started?
Yeah.
So, Jarad steps up. And what has been started?
Children. Daughters who wish to return the mother.
And as she drops the final thing, the words ring out around you, and cut as as Maureen kind of lifts herself up and sort of straightens her back and goes, how was it? As she kind of goes and sort of begins to remove the milky contacts from her eyes.
Is your neck alright?
No. I don't worry, I know a wonderful... I've got a wonderful chiropractor. Put you in contact if anyone needs.
That was a pretty good trick. Pretty good trick dropping them down. I'm assuming they were underneath your eyelid and you just dropped them down?
round the back.
Ugh.
It's decidedly uncomfortable. The first time I ever did it, I was completely by mistake. Rather traumatic.
Yeah, no, I can only assume. Ugh.
Well, if anyone's interested, I am going to be getting drinks at a wonderful little place just in North London. I'm more than happy to accommodate. I'll call a taxi if anyone's...
I mean, that sounds great.
Perfect.
As the lights begin to fire up in the studios and the bell rings nearby for the soundstage and the clamour of voices begins to rise once again, nobody keeping silence anymore. And as the group of you depart, making your way out where drivers await, checking yourself out from through costume, and back for the time being to normality. And we are going to call the session there. Thanks for watching. Please give us a like, comment, subscribe, and share. And we'll see you next time for more Daughters of the Damned.